removal of the small tires. You can see there's 3 bolts that hold the disc in place on these mounting points. So I've broken those free, and once those are broke free and completely taken out, then on the outside of the tire, you'll see that I've already pulled the cotter key out, and I've marked that nut so that I know where it goes to line up to allow the cotter key to go back in. Then this will slide off, the larger tire will slide on. This is the back side of the tire, and the disc will mount to those 3 mounting points, and then the nut will be on the outside. So that frees up the back of the smaller tire. Sure that will go on the big tire. So maintenance on the Matcos is pretty easy. With the tire off, with those 3 bolts removed, that nut and the tire itself removed, then it's really easy to actually pull the actual disc off if it ever needs to be replaced to go back on, or to change out the brake pads. That's all done just like this. So the unit just stays installed on the spindle, and then it goes back in like that. So we'll reinstall or install the larger tire now. So I'm just going to put the castle nut on and just snug by hand. I took the bolts that attach the disc to the back of the tire over to the sanding belt or over to the wire wheel and clean those up. When I go to finally install this, I'll actually put some Loctite removable blue Loctite liquid on here when I put them in. For now, I'm just going to make sure they're all lined up where they need to be. Alright, so the disc is snugged up where it's supposed to be. The tire is fully mounted on the spindle. The castle nut's locked in place with the cotter key in, and so it's firm and tight on the spindle. So now I'll go through, I'm going to pull each of the bolts out that holds the disc onto the back of the tire, put some Loctite on it, put it back in, and tighten them all up. One of the things to be aware of that John and others have mentioned while I've been down here is that this airplane with the main gear, and specifically with these larger tires, the tires like to throw up rocks and dirt and any small debris, and that creates a problem because the prop is right there behind the tires, and then also sometimes you get damage to those rear the rear stabilizer on the back. So the project I've been working on is creating and building a system for a mud flap, and I think I've got a pretty good idea and design built. On the main gear, Randy has this piece there that's been welded on, and that is for installing over the smaller tires, the wheel pants. I'm not going to be using the wheel pants, and so I utilized that piece right there. And so basically I just took a piece of angle iron, aluminum, and I drilled 3 holes, one on top and then 2 on that flat piece, and then laid the angle iron up so it runs backwards, and then did a L-piece bracket off the back of the tire to go across the back. And then what that'll allow me to do is I'll get some thin rubber and I'll actually just bolt it onto the bracket so that it will catch debris from flipping up and backwards into the prop and into the rear stabilizer. Mud flap brackets are installed. You can see the pre-drilled mounting holes there, and then it's bolted to the bracket right there. So I got this idea from an airplane that I flew for the state, and it was for out big tire flying, so plenty of a gap right here. And then I'll just put a piece of rubber on top that kind of comes at an angle this way, and then one that hangs down off the back here to catch anything that gets kicked up.